Today I'm cooking up one of my favorite cuts of beef, the picanha. It's really delicious when it's done correctly, and we're gonna pair it up with a little bit of a chimichurri. Let's get right into it. This picanha that I have here for my friends over at RCB weighs 1.16 pounds. I'm gonna cook up this picanha indirectly and then finish it off over direct heat, keeping it really, really simple. When preparing your picanha, there's not a lot that you need to do other than making sure that you have an even amount of fat all the way across the picanha. If I turn this around here, you can see that the fat through the middle right in here gets a little bit thick. So I'm going to use just a large slicing knife just to kind of round that out a little bit. So I make sure that I have even amounts of fat. In my opinion, what makes picanha so great is that you have the perfect amount of fat in every bite of steak. And that's what we're going for here today. But that should be a nice amount of fat that'll render really nicely while this is cooking. The other thing that you could do here is just kind of shape this up a little bit. And there we have it, a nicely trimmed beef picanha. So I'm not cooking this till much later today. I'm gonna let this hang out in the fridge, but I'm gonna apply a little bit of a beef marinade to it just to kind of help develop some flavor and to infuse some salt into this and make it really the best product that we can build. And that's all set. We'll put it in the fridge. If you don't have the beef primer, by all means, just use a little bit of salt and put this on the fridge and let it hang out for a few hours or overnight, whatever time allows for. After you let your beef picanha hang out in the fridge all day, but you just want to get down your favorite steak rub. And today I'm using just a rub I've made that's primarily, it's just a lot of salt. There's a little bit of black pepper in there, but not a lot. And I've had this sitting on the counter for about 15 minutes. And then we're just going to put it onto our Weber Kettle that we've got set up for indirect heat. We're going to put it so that the fat cap is up, so that's kind of melting into the picanha as it cooks. And we're going to let this hang out until it reaches an internal temperature of about 115 degrees. So our picanha has been hanging out. It looks absolutely delicious. You can see that fat's starting to render down on there nicely. It's got some great color to it as well. And I'm just looking for about 115 degrees Fahrenheit here. But now what we want to do is we want to pull it off and we're going to let it rest for a few minutes, and then we're going to get our fire really nice and hot back on our hot side, our direct side of the grill, and just sear it off and finish it off and make sure it's got a nice crust that's built up on the outside of it. Here's a little tool tip for you. I started recently using these Jealous Devil Flex briquettes, and that's compressed oak you're looking at there, but it really gives off a nice heat, a nice clean heat. And it's perfect for applications like this where you want to get some flavor, a little bit of flavor in your sear, but you also want to get some really great heat. So I'm just going to throw those down in there again, let them get going, and then we'll sear off our picanha. So our fire's been stoked back up. It's time to go ahead and finish off our picanha. I'm just going to put it right over that straight heat, just right down there. I want to sear all sides of it, so I'm just going to keep kind of flip and flip and flip and flip here. And that's that fat side, obviously. And I wish they had smell-o-vision. This smells absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get into it. I think we've got just about the crust that I'm looking for on our picanha here today. I did get a little bit of a burnt edge there, but I still like those bits of steak. I can't wait to dive into this. And the best part about the reverse sear method is you don't have to wait to cut into this. We've already did the rest. We did the rest between the two stages of the cook. So we can put this on our board and get right after it. But there is our finished picanha in all her glory, looking absolutely perfect. Let's get inside, get this thing trimmed up, and get dinner. Family's hungry. So our picanha is all rested. This is where a lot of people make mistakes, is that they cut it with the grain. So you can see that the grains are running this way through your picanha. So when you make your slices, you want to make your slices this way, and you want to cut on a bias. So let's just start on our smaller end here. And that's cutting like absolute butter, looking absolutely delicious. nice piece of our picanha right there. One of the ways that I really like to enjoy this cut is with chimichurri. Chimichurri is super easy to make. I blended up some really fast. It's just parsley, cilantro. I use a Fresno red pepper because I like a little bit of heat. I even put the seeds right in there. You could use crushed red pepper instead if you had that. And then just a little bit of olive oil and some red wine vinaigrette and 2 cloves of garlic. And boom, you've got a perfect little piece of picanha. But look, take a look at that there. Look at that cross section. The cook on it's absolutely perfect. This is what I'm talking about, where you have a perfect amount of fat just right across the top of every slice of picanha that you get out of there. And that looks absolutely delicious. Can't wait to serve this to my family. Can't wait to get into it. Here we go. Cheers. Thanks for hanging out today. We'll see you on the next one. There's no words for that. You just got to go get your own RCB picanha and try it for yourself.